Welcome to this episode of the Sports Detective Podcast Show. My name is James Williams, and today ESPN's Jay Williams does not understand what it means to be an internet troll. What are we talking about? So a few weeks ago, when the March Madness brackets got released, there was a picture of Jay Williams' bracket. It's a little bit confusing. We have like the same name, basically, of his bracket and his Elite Eight, which was all chalk. It was just 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And a lot of people were like, really, Jay, you're not going to go on a limb at all. You're not going to have a 4 seed. You're not going to have a 3 seed. And, Jay Williams, obviously a big ESPN personality. So he's a pretty easy target to clown and to troll. Well, Jay Williams, since he had 7 of his Elite 8 picks correctly, and he had his entire Final 4 correct, has basically just been going on a victory tour about this, which is kind of funny. Because one, you just went chalk. It doesn't take a genius to go chalk. And also, two, if you're someone like me that listens to a lot of different March Madness, college basketball content. I mean, I listen to it throughout the whole year, but I listen to a lot around March Madness because I want to get little edges and get advantages when I fill out my bracket. And every person that I was listening to talking about this year's bracket heading into the tournament was saying, guys, this is not the year to have a 12 seed go to the Elite Eight. This is not a year to have a Cinderella go far in your bracket. This is the year to go chalk. So this is what basically most of the college basketball experts out there were saying. And so even though that's what people were saying, Jay Williams is still going on his victory tour, and he's talking about how great his bracket is. I saw him talk about it on First Take today, which was kind of weird, but he in doing so and going on and trying to be an internet troll, he decided to try and troll and call out Mark Titus and the Mark Titus Show, which is a Barstool Sports college basketball / comedy podcast. I'll go ahead and show you guys what Jay Williams tweeted and why he's getting some backlash for this tweet that he had. So let's go ahead and I'll read what Jay Williams had to say here. Dear Mark Titus Show, funny how the loudest ones never made it past the couch, let alone the Sweet 16. Yours truly, Jay Petty LaBelle Williams. And by the way, if you can already, you might even be able to see it on your screen right now. He got community noted for this because he cut this clip short. It's a 38-second clip that he made 21 seconds. And then also, too, Mark Titus, the guy that hosts the show, played 4 years of college basketball, and his teams made it very, very far. And I'll end up telling you a little bit more about Mark Titus, the basketball player, here in a bit. But let's go ahead and watch this first clip of from the that Jay Williams post here. Also, too, you can even see here in this video here too that his recording that he posted has 0-0 out of 37, and then he just cuts the video off at 0-0, or you can see 21 seconds here. Like you're not even like hiding it of the fact that you're cutting it out of context to try and make these guys look bad. So let's go ahead, watch the out of context clip. Then I'll show you why he was community noted. And then we will
Williams just finished his bracket.
Show you the full clip.
His regionals. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2.
What a coward.
I don't like this.
What a fucking coward this guy is. What a pussy.
Pay him the big bucks.
What a pussy, dude. He just went 1-2.
He
All
just
right.
hit autofill.
All right.
Yeah,
And
so you can see there 21 seconds. Now the readers added context here. Mark Titus was a Division I basketball player, and although he had little playing time, he did make it past the Sweet 16, made to multiple Final Fours, by the way. This video is cut short, and a longer version shows that the comments by Mark were sarcastic, and he, in fact, had similar picks to Jay Williams. So now let's go ahead and let's watch the full clip. So this was the guy that does the Mark Titus Show with Titus posted the full clip. He said, I will not be addressing Jay Williams, intentionally cutting a clip short to make us look bad when the full version, 18 seconds longer, shows it was sarcasm, and we had the same chalk picks he did. Some people just try to tear others down. When he goes low, we go high. So
Jay Williams just finished his bracket. His regionals. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2.
what a coward.
I don't like this.
What a fucking coward this guy is. What a pussy.
Pay him the big bucks.
What a pussy, dude. He just went 1-2.
He just
All right.
hit autofill.
All right.
Yeah,
and
he
the,
hit autofill.
and the
Favorite.
total of seeds, I have 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-3.
I have. I'll counter your 1, 2.
So I have a total of 13
I have 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2.
with an asterisk that says if I wasn't a pussy, I would have picked Louisville over Auburn.
I have.
With yeah,
So you guys can see right there that he cut the clip short. And if anything, they brought up the Jay Williams thing earlier for that payoff joke at the end of like, it's like, oh my God, you got to be a little coward to not pick any of those to just go all chalk. And then he's like, well, yeah, I also went all chalk because I'm also a coward. He's being sarcastic. He's trying to be funny. That's what the Mark Titus show is. That's who he is. Guys, Mark Titus became famous because he was a walk-on, and he was on AAU team with like a bunch of future NBA players like Greg Oden, Mike Conley, Eric Gordon, Daquan Cook. I think there might be another guy that was on that team too. If I just can't remember off the top of my head. Like he was on a team with a lot of really good players, and then he ended up being a walk-on at Ohio State. A thing too that I'm just going to add. This is like I just don't know the next time I'll ever talk about Mark Titus on a podcast again. To add a little bit more context for people, because I've never heard him talk about this publicly, but he actually had a chance to go and play at Harvard coming out of high school because he was getting recruited by Harvard. And basically because I've read his book. He wrote a whole book where he's making jokes in it. He's laughing at himself. He's laughing at his head coach, Thad Matta. He's laughing at Greg Oden, who he considers like his best friend. And I read that book, and this is a section out of that book where he's talking about being in high school. And if you know Titus, he was kind of lazy, really didn't care about basketball. I mean, he cared about it, but he was he was the most talented guy on his high school team. And he knew that. And because of that, he kind of got away with more stuff because he was the best player. And his head coach hated him for that, for just kind of being lazy and not really caring. And maybe this is part of the reason that he doesn't tell the stories. It kind of makes him look bad. Also might make it does make his high school coach look a little bit bad. But there was a game that the Harvard scouts were going to come and watch Titus play in high school. And right before that game, he crossed the line with his head coach. I can't remember what he did, but basically that made his high school coach just bench him for the entire game that the Harvard scouts game. It was either the entire game or part of the game. And basically that ruined his chance to go play D1 basketball at Harvard. And I think probably the reason he doesn't tell that story because he probably doesn't want to be the guy, well, I actually could have played at Harvard. I don't think he wants to be that guy. I think he kind of wants people to think that he's just a walk-on that, has kind of carried off of the success of his very successful friends and former AAU teammates, which is kind of true. It's true and it isn't. But my point is bringing up that story is he probably could have went and actually had playing time on a Division I basketball team that wasn't Ohio State. Instead, he went to Ohio State. And by the way, I think he actually, at least says on the back cover of his book, that even though he only had 9 points in his entire career, he's the all-time individual wins leader at Ohio State for a player. I don't know if that's changed, but at least when he left, that's what it was, which is kind of funny. But that's kind of the point here. It's like, well, Jay Williams is like, he was just wrong. He didn't know who Mark Titus was. He saw that clip. He got into his fifis, and then he decided to post that. But after he posted that, people like Ohio State ended up posting stuff like what I just showed you. And then also a bunch of people that are fans of the Mark Titus show is like, Jay, you're wrong. One, he played Division I college basketball. And two, he had the same picks as you. And that's what people were saying. And Jay Williams decides to move the goalpost when people started bringing this up to him. So he quote tweeted someone that said, he literally made the same picks as you, Jay. Watch the entire clip, please. I have, but people seem to miss the point. When you call someone those names, wait a minute, Jay. I thought you're originally mad because you thought this guy was on the couch. He didn't play Division I basketball, never made it past the Sweet 16, and he's calling you out for your poor picks. You didn't say any of that about the name calling, even though he was being sarcastic and joking the entire time. You didn't say that. You posted the clip. Didn't know who Mark Titus was. Either you conveniently edited it out to try and take down that show and those people, or you got sent that 21-second clip that we originally showed you guys, and you didn't bother to go and look and be like, wait, is this out of context? Because you didn't care. You just wanted to get an own on somebody. That's all you cared about. And then you got caught You got community noted. And then you're moving the goalpost. This is the textbook definition of moving the goalpost, Jay Williams. This is why people don't like you. It's stuff like this. You're a brilliant basketball mind, man. When you talk about college basketball and you dissect it, you're one of the best people at it. You might be the best guy at it. But when you do this stuff, it just comes off really classless and unlikable. You're not winning this. And by the way, I'll go ahead and give a shout out to our guy, Wild Bags here. This is Tyler Cole. He's been on my show before. He also one time was on Mark Titus's show, by the way, too. He had this to say to Jay Williams: "You don't know Mark Titus. He's satirical, sarcastic, relatable, funny, and entertaining about the entire college basketball landscape, including himself. The man makes fun of himself every episode. Do not take anything personally when he's joking and not even being serious. Besides, you literally went to Duke and you have been called the worst names on planet Earth. Also, you should have been called for a technical foul in 2001. I mean, that's just it, man. Like, that, and that's also what's so weird about this. He's trying to get like validation for getting his Final Four correct. And he's like, 4 1 seeds have only made the Final Four only a few. I think it's only twice in college basketball history, or I think maybe since we extended to 64 plus or something like that. And he's like, that's pretty rare. I picked a pretty rare bracket. Don't I deserve any credit? Aren't I this big intellectual genius, this college basketball expert? It's so weird. Like, I'm serious, guys. Go to his. Actually, can I do it here? I'll try and do it here. If I can find any. Crap. I'm not gonna be able to. He keeps like talking about it online. About how he's like. I'm not going to do the effort right now. I'd have to stop the show. But he keeps talking about how, like, oh my God, look at me for being this big smart guy picking the correct Final Four. It's like, guys, you know how pathetic this is too? Is that this is the meme that was going around when the Final Four, conveniently, the meme is from the Mark Titus show. And then I'm going to show you guys, but a bunch of other people are posting this too. Girlfriend who picked every number 1 seed to make the Final Four. Guys, that's the joke about the Final Four this year. Like I said at the beginning, it didn't take a genius to pick all number 1 seeds to make it to the Final Four. Even if you saw the KenPom stat about how good these number 1 seeds are and how they are like some of the best team, like top 10 or top 14 teams in KenPom's entire history of collecting data for college basketball. You don't get extra credit for picking a correct Final Four this year. I'm sorry. And these are the things too that are just it's kind of sad that you're wanting this validation from this. It's not a good look on you, man. And we got like the same name. We got the same name. Quit doing it. I don't want to be doing videos, talking about a guy that has the same name as me and being on the other side of him. I don't want to be doing that. Come on, Jay. And that's the thing with Jay. I don't know what it is about him, but like when he. And I basically make this sentiment every time we talk about Jay Williams, is that when he talks about college basketball and he's giving us insight on his knowledge of college basketball and certain teams and certain players and different matchups, or, previewing a game, like there's really no one better than him. There's really no one better than him. But it's when he tries to branch out and do other stuff, like here he's trying to be an internet troll. He's, falling on his face tremendously here. He's moving the goalpost. When he goes on to First Take, he's just trying to do like a Stephen A. Smith impersonation that's really bad. And it's kind of like I would love it if he actually went on to First Take and gave us like actual basketball insight, broke down the game in that way, because I know he's capable of it, but instead he just wants to do a Stephen A. First Take hot take impersonation. And it's just kind of like it doesn't work with you, man. That's not what you do. That's not a thing you're good at. It's just not a thing you're good at. You're good at the smart basketball stuff, being an internet troll, trying to own people, trying to have hot takes. It's not your vibe, man. It's not your vibe. And I'm begging you as a guy that has the same exact name as you. As Stephen A. said, what did Stephen A. say about LeBron and Bronny? Stop this, Jay Williams. Stop it. He called me a bad name. And it hurt my tiny peepees. And I make millions of dollars for ESPN. Man. Grow up, man. Grow up. Grow up, dude. I'm just being petty, bro. Okay. All right. I don't like talking bad about Jay Williams, the smart basketball guy, but when he does stuff like this, when he does his first take shtick, it's not good. It's not entertaining. It's a bad look on him. All right, that's going to do it for this episode here today. If you like this episode, make sure you hit like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're at 669 is the time I'm recording this. This might be a small goal, but I'd like to get to 700 by the end of April. So if you guys can help me, if you're a person that hasn't subscribed already, can help me get to that goal, I'd love that. I would expect to get there, but we'll do small goals here, baby steps to get our subs up. So if you help me out with that, that'd be amazing. Leave your comment, what you thought about this video. What do you think about Titus? What do you think about Jay Williams? Would love to hear you guys' thoughts. What do you think about this whole situation that's going on between them? Would love to hear your guys' thoughts. And again, feel free to check out other videos on this page, and we'll talk to you next time. Thank you for watching.